Police detectives and crime scene investigators scoured the home of 58-year-old Benjamin Martelli. The middle-aged citizen was discovered writhing in pain by neighbors near his Mon Repos home Saturday night. He had been savagely beaten by bandits who broke into his home. Martelli was battered, bruised, and bathed in blood with gaping gashes to the head. The deep lashes and wounds bore testament to the relatively violent assault within the confines of the walls of the residence. Due to security concerns, one of his neighbors who witnessed the aftermath declined to appear on camera. But she recounted some of the details to Southern correspondent Desmond Collymore.
My spouse and I, we came from a funeral repast. And that's where my spouse normally parked his Jeep. That's by his brother's place. So when we drive in, we realized he was sitting on the step. Then he called, he said, Malthus, Malthus. And then we continue going. But I said, you mean to tell me Benjamin drink? And that's why he's sitting. He cannot even enter his home. But when we finally drove almost where he's sitting, he said, Malthus, Malthus, you bat me, you bat me. So my spouse went and parked the vehicle. But what I did, I was the first person who got out of the Jeep. I said, let me go and see what is his problem. So when I came to him, he sat on the step and I saw all his head. All his head has blood, all his face, his clothes.
At the time, the victim was too disoriented to relate to his neighbors what transpired at his home on the fateful night. But subsequent reports indicated that the bandits apparently gained entry into the home by ripping off the burglar bars before proceeding to beat the homeowner from pillar to post. Martelli was robbed of money and other valuables and left for dead by the assailants. It was a gory scene with crimson-red stains on the tiled floor with the concrete walls also painted with blood.
So my spouse came and he asked him, Benjamin, who did this to you? He said, I don't know, I don't know. So my spouse went in to check and before that he told my spouse, if you see the state of my room, so my spouse went in to check in the room and he told me if I see the state of the room. Then we walked back and we went to the kitchen. When we went to the kitchen, we saw blood stain all over the floor, everywhere. His phone was underneath a chair.
In the grips of anguish, Martelli appealed to his neighbors to summon first responders.
He told me to call the ambulance. I told him, well, I don't know the number for Mikud, but I will call 999, which I did. And then they transferred the call to Mikud. I spoke with them and the ambulance came to pick him up and then we called police and they came to the scene.
The police were called to the scene at around 10:20 p.m. Officers acting on intelligence gave chase of a vehicle with the individuals on board matching the suspect's description. According to reports, the alleged perpetrators shot at law enforcement officers who returned fire, wounding one of the suspects in the process.
Officers at the Miku fire station responded to an emergency call regarding a shooting on Sunday 22nd November in Magwetut, Miku. The emergency crew found on scene a male individual sitting on the road in the presence of police officers. He was carried to the ambulance where an assessment was done. The patient sustained one penetrating wound on his back. He was then transported via ambulance in a stable condition to the St. Jude Hospital.
The male suspect